Rise to power. Ibrahim Traore, born on March 14, 1988, in Kara, Bondakwi, Burkina Faso, pursued geology studies at the University of Ouagadougou, graduating with honors. He joined the Burkinabe Army in 2009, trained in anti-aircraft warfare in Morocco, and served in UN peacekeeping missions in Mali. By 2020, he had risen to the rank of captain and became a vocal representative for frontline soldiers frustrated by government neglect. On September 30, 2022, he led a coup overthrowing then-interim leader Paul-Henri Sandaogo Damiba. Traore was sworn in as transitional president on October 21, 2022. His takeover made him one of the world's youngest leaders. Traore has cast himself as a revolutionary leader, echoing the legacy of Thomas Sankara, promoting nationalism, economic self-reliance, and anti-colonial rhetoric. In April 2025, he officially launched what his administration calls the Progressive and Popular Revolution, aiming to nationalize key industries, cancel foreign debt, revive public works, and foster Pan-African unity, particularly through the forming of the Alliance of Sahel States, Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger. Traore's governance is deeply polarizing. His popularity among Burkina Faso's youth and Pan-African supporters stems from his anti-Western posture and bold overhaul of political norms. Traore's journey, from a young military officer to a symbol of resistance, reflects broader disillusionment in the region with Western-backed governance. His legacy will ultimately hinge on whether he secures peace and prosperity or becomes a cautionary tale of power without accountability. President Ibrahim Traore's rule, a call to Africa's youth. In recent years, Burkina Faso's President Ibrahim Traore has become one of the most talked-about young leaders on the continent. At just 34 years old when he assumed power in 2022, Traore shattered the stereotype that leadership in Africa is reserved for the old and politically entrenched. For Africa's youth, who make up the majority of the population, his rise carries powerful lessons. Youth is not a weakness, it's an asset. Traore's leadership challenges the long-held belief that political authority requires decades of age. Instead, he has shown that energy, fresh ideas, and the courage to take risks can be decisive in moments of crisis. In a continent where the median age is under 20, he reflects the demographic reality of Africa and shows that young people can and should play a central role in governance. Putting sovereignty first. Traore has been vocal about reclaiming Burkina Faso's political and economic independence. He has emphasized breaking away from overdependence on former colonial powers and forging partnerships that put national interests first. This message resonates strongly with young Africans who are tired of seeing their nation's destinies shaped elsewhere. Leadership in a time of crisis. He took the helm during one of Burkina Faso's most difficult periods, facing insurgency, economic strain, and political instability. For young people, his example underscores the idea that leadership is not about inheriting comfort, but about standing firm in times of hardship and being willing to make unpopular but necessary decisions. Pan-Africanism in action. Traore often speaks about African unity, not just as a dream, but as a practical necessity. His calls for stronger cooperation among African states aim to inspire a generation that is increasingly aware of the continent's shared struggles and opportunities. Responsibility over rhetoric. For all the symbolism of a young president, Traore's rule is also a reminder that youth alone is not enough. Vision, discipline, and accountability are essential. His tenure is being closely watched, not just for what it symbolizes, but for whether it delivers tangible results in security, education, and economic opportunity. A message to African youth. The story of Ibrahim Traore is not about one man. It is about a generation daring to believe they can shape their nation's futures. His rule is both an inspiration and a challenge. Inspiration because it proves young Africans can lead, and a challenge because it demands that they prepare themselves, through education, integrity, and resilience, to take on the mantle of leadership. In the end, the rise of leaders like Traore signals that the future of Africa will be written not by those waiting on the sidelines, but by the youth who step forward, ready to bear the weight of their people's hopes.